Before diving into today's discussion, let's talk about the Dallas Cowboys as they return to organized team activities, or OTAs. The buzz is already building around Javonte Williams, who is quickly becoming a focal point in Dallas's backfield. Conversation. Williams, once a highly touted running back with a promising start to his career, suffered a devastating knee injury back in 2022. Since then, he has struggled to recapture the form that had many analysts and fans excited about his potential. His rookie season showed flashes of what could be a special talent, averaging over 4.5 yards per carry and displaying a physical running style reminiscent of great backs like Marshawn Lynch. Before his injury, Denver fans and football experts alike viewed him as a key piece of their offense. Now, the question on everyone's mind is whether Javonte can regain that momentum with the Cowboys. Recently, Williams opened up about his recovery and current health status, stating that he feels completely himself again. He mentioned that while he could still work on his flexibility, the healing process is behind him. Recovery timelines can vary significantly from player to player, and for a running back, the physical demands are enormous. Williams understands this all too well, and the fact that he is back on the field eager to prove himself speaks volumes. The Cowboys are looking for a lead back who can handle the majority of carries and be a consistent weapon in their offensive arsenal. Last season, Dallas tried a committee approach in the backfield, but that plan shifted mid-year due to the performance levels of their available backs. This season, the depth chart looks deeper and more competitive with players like Miles Sanders, Jaden Blue, and Phil Mafluki all vying for snaps. Each of these backs brings a different skill set, and the coaching staff will need to evaluate who fits best into their offensive scheme. Williams is considered a low-risk, high-reward option for Dallas. If he can tap back into his early career production, the Cowboys will have landed a major steal. However, it's far from a sure thing. Running backs often need live contact situations to truly prove their worth, and OTAs don't provide that kind of environment. The real test will come during training camp and preseason games, where physicality and durability become paramount. For now, all eyes will be on how Williams handles these next steps. Fans and analysts alike will need to exercise patience, as it's difficult to predict how the former Denver back will perform after such a serious injury. Moving on to the defensive side of the ball, linebacker Jack Sanborn has caught some attention as a potential breakout player for Dallas. Despite a limited number of starts with the Chicago Bears over the past 3 years, Sanborn signed a 1-year, relatively low-cost deal with the Cowboys. This signing has sparked intrigue because Sanborn offers versatility and football intelligence. Dallas's run defense showed some weaknesses last season, so bolstering that unit is a priority. Sanborn's ability to play multiple linebacker positions gives the Cowboys flexibility in their defensive schemes. He can line up as a weak side linebacker, take on middle linebacker responsibilities, or even serve as an overhang rusher from the strong side. This adaptability could prove crucial as Dallas finalizes their defensive roster and strategies. The linebacker room in Dallas is crowded with talent. Names like Demarion Overshawn, Kenneth Murray, Morris Hurst, and Sanborn himself are all competing for roles. However, Overshawn is not expected to be fully ready for the start of the season, which opens the door for Sanborn and others to carve out significant playing time. Sanborn's prior experience with the Cowboys' defensive coordinator may also give him an edge in grasping the playbook quickly and executing at a high level. Beyond his physical abilities, his football IQ and understanding of defensive schemes make him a potential candidate for the green dot position, the player who communicates defensive calls on the field. While Morris Hurst is younger and under team control for longer, Sanborn's experience shouldn't be overlooked, and the competition will likely push everyone to perform better. There's also been some chatter around C.J. Mosley, a veteran linebacker with a solid NFL resume. Though he's been linked to the Cowboys in some trade rumors, the team doesn't appear to be actively pursuing him at the moment. Mosley, who will be turning 33, struggled with injuries last season, appearing in only 4 games. His durability and recent performance have raised some red flags, which likely factors into Dallas's hesitancy. The Cowboys currently have a young core at linebacker, and adding an aging veteran who is recovering from injuries might not fit their long-term plans. Still, football is unpredictable, and if injuries hit or the young players don't develop, as hoped, Mosley could become an option down the line as a short-term stopgap. Right now, the linebacker group in Dallas looks relatively solid, with enough talent to manage the defensive demands for the upcoming season. The key will be how the younger players step up, especially those who might not yet have proven themselves as full-time starters. The Cowboys need versatility, depth, and durability in this unit to compete at a high level. They also have to consider that defensive roles often overlap, and players are expected to be flexible in their assignments. The coaches will have plenty of decisions to make during training camp as they try to balance youth and experience. In summary, the Cowboys are navigating a mix of hopeful comebacks, emerging talent, and strategic roster decisions. Javonte Williams represents a big opportunity, but also comes with uncertainty given his injury history. Jack Sanborn is quietly making waves as a versatile defender who could strengthen the linebacker core. Meanwhile, the Mosley situation remains something to watch, but is not currently a priority. With so many moving pieces, the offseason and training camp will be critical in shaping Dallas's final roster and determining how these players will impact the team's success this year. Continuing from where we left off, the Dallas Cowboys linebacker situation offers a fascinating glimpse into the challenges and opportunities facing the team's defense heading into the new season. With Demarion Overshown recovering and not expected to be ready by week 1, the pressure falls on players like Kenneth Murray, Maurice Hurst, Jack Sanborn, and even Shamar James to step up and solidify their spots. Overshown's versatility as a linebacker capable of playing all 3 positions on the field, strong side, middle, and weak side, makes his absence more impactful. His presence typically provides the kind of flexibility that allows the defense to adjust on the fly. So the coaching staff will have to get creative to cover that gap in the early weeks. This means others must be ready to fill the void, either temporarily or as potential long-term starters if injuries or performance issues arise. Kenneth Murray, another key figure in this group, offers a physical and aggressive style of play that fits well within the Cowboys' defensive scheme. His ability to cover ground quickly and make tackles near the line of scrimmage or in open space is critical for stopping both the run and the pass. Murray's continued development will be crucial for Dallas, especially given the uncertainty surrounding some of the other linebackers. Maurice Hurst, on the other hand, brings youth and potential, but is still carving out his role on the team. His athleticism and speed give the Cowboys options in coverage, and his under-team control status means Dallas has time to mold him into a more prominent player. Jack Sanborn's potential impact cannot be overstated. His signing might have flown under the radar for many fans, but his football intelligence and experience, especially under the guidance of the defensive coordinator he previously worked with, could make him a dark horse candidate to not only start but also take on leadership responsibilities. The fact that he intercepted 3 passes last season highlights his playmaking ability, something the Cowboys defense could desperately use. His knack for reading plays and positioning himself correctly adds a cerebral element to the linebacker group that might be just as valuable as physical talent. As we analyze the linebacker unit further, it's important to consider how the team's defensive strategies will evolve over the course of the season. With players capable of lining up in multiple spots, the Cowboys can deploy more complex schemes that confuse opposing offenses. This kind of versatility is a luxury not every team has and could be a key factor in Dallas's defensive success. However, for that potential to be realized, the players must execute consistently and stay healthy, which is always easier said than done. Turning back to the offense, the question of who will be the lead running back for the Cowboys remains open. Javonte Williams' health and performance will be closely monitored, and if he can return to his pre-injury form, he would likely be the front runner to carry the load. But the reality is that running back committees have become the norm in today's NFL, and Dallas seems poised to embrace that model again. Miles Sanders has shown flashes of skill and reliability, while Jaden Blue and Phil Mafluki could provide valuable depth, and special teams contributions. This kind of rotation can help keep players fresh and reduce the wear and tear that often plagues the running back position. Still, a true number one back who can consistently produce at a high level is a coveted asset, and that remains the Cowboys' goal. On the defensive line and secondary, other roster spots may also be worth watching as Dallas finalizes its lineup. The cornerback group, for instance, will be tested heavily, given the caliber of wide receivers in their division and across the league. Defensive tackles must also step up to generate pressure and stop the run, which will take some pressure off the linebackers. If those units perform well, it can elevate the entire defense, giving linebackers more freedom to make plays. The team's broader challenge is balancing youth and experience across the board. Dallas has several young players with high ceilings, but they still need time to mature and develop consistency. Veterans bring leadership and stability, but may be more susceptible to injury or decline. Navigating this balance successfully often separates playoff contenders from also-rans. One intriguing angle to consider is how the Cowboys will adjust their defensive philosophy based on personnel. With versatile linebackers like Overshawn, Murray, Hurst, and Sanborn, the defense could become more adaptable, shifting alignments and coverages dynamically to counter opposing offenses. This could make Dallas tougher to game plan against, but it requires players to be well prepared and communicative on the field. Meanwhile, the offense is also evolving under the weight of new and returning players. The Cowboys need a reliable ground game to complement their passing attack, especially in clutch situations late in games and during the playoffs. A dependable running back helps control the clock, keeps the defense rested, and opens up play-action opportunities for quarterbacks. Javonte Williams' potential resurgence could be a cornerstone for that approach, but depth and flexibility remain essential. Looking at the bigger picture, Dallas's offseason moves show a commitment to shoring up weaknesses while maintaining roster flexibility. The addition of players like Sanborn and the cautious approach toward veteran linebackers like C.J. Mosley suggests a strategic plan that favors long-term development with room to pivot if needed. Injuries and unexpected performances always play a role in how a season unfolds, so the Cowboys must be ready to adapt. Training camp will serve as the ultimate proving ground for many of these players. Coaches will have to make tough decisions on who earns roster spots and playing time. The competition will be fierce, and every rep will count. It will also be a chance for players to show their resilience, especially those like Javonte Williams who are trying to overcome past setbacks. For the Cowboys fans, the mix of optimism and uncertainty is familiar territory. Hope springs eternal every offseason, fueled by new signings, draft picks, and the promise of growth. This year is no different, but there are added questions around key positions that could define the team's trajectory. Will Javonte Williams recapture his early promise? Can Jack Sanborn and others elevate the linebacker group? Will the team's defensive and offensive units click seamlessly? These are the storylines that will play out over the coming months. Ultimately, the Dallas Cowboys stand at a crossroads where talent, health, and strategy converge. Their success will depend on how well they manage those elements and whether their young players step into larger roles without missing a beat. The road to the season opener and beyond is filled with potential, but also with hurdles that require focus and determination to overcome. As the offseason progresses, the team's identity will become clearer, and fans will gain a better understanding of what to expect from this iteration of the Cowboys. But before we continue, don't forget to subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. Your support helps us keep bringing you the latest updates on the Dallas Cowboys. Feel free to share your thoughts on the news in the comments as well. Consistently produced at a high level is a coveted asset, and that remains the Cowboys' goal. Speculation is growing within NFL circles about the future of Dallas Cowboys offensive coordinator Brian Schottenheimer as the team endures an inconsistent start to the season. Whispers around the league suggest that Schottenheimer could be feeling the heat after the Cowboys' offense failed to live up to lofty preseason expectations, raising concerns about whether a change in leadership might be on the horizon. Wow. No official statement has been made by team executives or head coach Mike McCarthy. Sources close to the organization indicate that frustration is mounting behind closed doors. The Cowboys' offense, once touted as one of the league's most dynamic units, has struggled to find consistency in both the passing and running game. Some insiders speculate that Schottenheimer's play calling and offensive schemes might be at the heart of the problem. Adding fuel to the fire, several reports suggest that players are quietly questioning the offensive direction. Though no one has publicly criticized Schottenheimer, there's an unmistakable sense that the cohesion and rhythm of the Cowboys' attack are lacking. Observers note that quarterback Dak Prescott appears visibly frustrated at times, particularly during crucial moments when the offense is stalled. NFL analysts have begun to debate whether Schottenheimer's approach is the right fit for Dallas, especially given the immense talent at his disposal. Some argue that his conservative tendencies are stifling the potential of key playmakers like CeeDee Lamb and Tony Pollard. Others caution that it's too early to make drastic changes, emphasizing that the season is still young and adjustments can be made. Nonetheless, the rumor mill is churning. League insiders have hinted that if the Cowboys' offensive struggles persist over the next few games, the front office might be forced to consider its options. And although Schottenheimer was only recently appointed as offensive coordinator, the high-stakes environment in Dallas leaves little room for prolonged underperformance. For now, these murmurs remain just that, speculation. But in a city where expectations are always sky high and the spotlight never dims, the pressure is undoubtedly mounting on Brian Schottenheimer. Whether he can weather the storm or become the latest casualty in the Cowboys' relentless pursuit of success remains to be seen. That's it for this update. If you enjoyed the video and want to keep receiving exclusive news about the Dallas Cowboys, please subscribe to our channel and give this video a like. We always look forward to your comments and opinions. See you in the next video.